can I call a point of order? It's just a procedural matter. From where Professor Sutton sits, can he see that this hearing's been held in a COVID-safe way, and that is that we are socially distanced and we have our masks? Can we just get confirmation that he can see that this is a COVID-safe way of holding a hearing?
Thank you, and apologies, but I can't see anyone on the screen. Oh, I can now. Yes, looks pretty COVID safe to me. Thank you.
Okay, so then the reason I'm asking this procedural matter is why aren't you in the room with us, and why are you doing it by Zoom if we're following all the COVID safe plans? I don't understand. And you're very keen to stand next to the Premier giving press conferences, but when it comes to a public hearing, you're not here.
Just further to the point of order, if I may. I'm not sure, Mr Wells, as ambitious as that point of order might be, that it's actually a point of order. I suspect that it might well be a question that you want to put to Professor Sutton.
No, I asked it was a procedural matter, and I asked it through the chair. It was a procedural matter. The question is very simple. Why isn't...
You're going to the substance
No, you're not the chair. I'm asking the chair.
Yeah, and I'd
it's a procedural matter. That why isn't Professor Sutton in the room with us? Because there is no reason why he can't be with us if we're having a COVID-safe plan and that this is following his orders.
So I'd like to raise a point of order then in relation to that procedural matter, if I may, Chair.
On the first point, do I need to rule that one?
No, I get to raise it before you then knock it out or in. The procedural matter as it relates to the way in which this hearing is set up is one thing. To ask Professor Sutton or indeed anybody else about why it is that they're here or appearing virtually or remotely is another. So I would actually seek to get a ruling from the Chair about the basis upon which, firstly, the procedural matter has been acquitted by reference to Professor Sutton's comments on the setup of the room, and perhaps that if Mr Wells has a question about Professor Sutton's attendance,
it's a procedural matter.
That it be dealt with in the course of questions after.
No, it's a procedural matter. We have asked very clearly, and Professor Sutton has confirmed that this is a COVID safe. So the question is, through the chair, why isn't he here when everyone else is here? There are no exceptions. No one else is doing it by Zoom. So the question is quite clearly, why isn't Professor Sutton here in the room with us?
To do with how we...
No, that's right.
Yeah. On the point of order, there is no requirement for the Chief Health Officer to be present. We have a letter from the Minister in response to our invitation to Professor Sutton and others that he attend, and it was noted then that he would be attending by Zoom. I think it's also relevant to note that the fewer the numbers in the one room, the better, and that I'm content to rule the point of order out of order.
So a further point of order, we still haven't heard the reason why Professor Sutton is not here. I understand what you're saying, but we haven't heard from Professor Sutton why he's not here.
Just further to that point of order, the current recommendation is to work from home if you can. There is therefore scope for an individual to take the decision that works best for them in the circumstances that apply to them. It's not in fact a mandate. You would know that, Mr. Wells, if you'd read the advice.
Professor Sutton's had every press conference
sorry, Mr.
with the
Wells.
Premier.
Sorry, Mr.
So
Wells.
why
In addition to that, the parliamentary committee structure has allowed for witnesses and for members to attend virtually as a consequence of COVID-safe arrangements that have been in place for an extremely long period of time now. Mr. Wells, you would be well aware of that. And indeed you have attended numerous hearings and indeed meetings virtually as well.
Is this really how you want to spend your time?
No. Professor Sutton confirmed that we're in a COVID-safe area, and there's chairs, 3 chairs there, socially distanced, that he and his 2 advisors
Parliamentary committee's hearings allow it,
They
Mr.
could have
Wells.
been part of this
Can I
hearing.
have some order, please? I have ruled on this. We're wasting time now. We have Professor Sutton here and we have a limited period to discuss the issues we want to with him. I'd ask that he now proceed with his presentation.
Nice try, mate.